royalty has entered the studio. What? Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book, and
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it.
Hold on, let me turn it on.
Well, hello and happy hump day to you and to you
Good morning.
and you and you and you.
Been a while.
I know. Well, I went away. I took a June vacation
I know.
for the first time in my entire life.
I kind of live my life vicariously through people like you.
I
right?
appreciate that.
No, really. And another friend of ours who I live vicariously through is Judith Getz.
Yep.
She posts a lot about when she goes to Italy.
Currently in Amalfi.
Right. So like, how can I get to Amalfi is what I want to know. But
Yeah.
anyway, I live vicariously through all of you. You know where I vacation? I
The boat?
vacation. Well, I vacation in Hyannis.
Yep. There
I
you
go
go.
from Harwich to Hyannis.
That's a whole
That's
other
that's
land.
where I vacation.
Do you want to? Well, I guess that is construed as the big city for us.
It is the big city. Yeah. I mean, when you go into the big city and you live down the other end of the Cape,
Right.
you know, there are people that it's interesting. You know, people say, "Oh, I know people that haven't been over the bridge in years." I know people.
That's true.
I know people that haven't been over the bridge in years. The Bass River Bridge.
That's what I was going to say. Your people call it that the Bass River Bridge is their bridge.
There are legit people down, you know, Orleans, Eastham, Truro, Wellfleet,
Yeah.
that they think going over the Bass River Bridge into Yarmouth is like, oh, I don't have my passport. I can't go into Yarmouth.
I love Outer Cape people.
Right? I mean, I feel as though I'm right on the edge of where it is not completely crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Harwich is kind of the DMZ of normal Cape Cod to quirky Cape Cod.
Right. I like that.
We straddle the border. there,
Quirky
Harwich.
Cape. I live on the side of the other quirky Cape people.
Yes, exactly.
Real close to Falmouth.
Right.
Different kind of quirky.
Oh, that's a whole other.
Right.
We should do a whole show just on that.
100%.
How's your summer going?
It's good. It's busy, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, taking a whole month off and like spending time with the fam was just wonderful.
You went swimming recently. I saw you guys at the pond.
We did. I actually enjoyed the place in which I lived. I didn't go in that pond.
Oh, you didn't go to this pond.
I did, but I
Oh.
didn't go in it.
Oh, but everyone else went in it.
Yeah, I
it
did.
looked like everyone
Yeah,
else went in
I didn't go in
You
it. No,
it. Go
I
in
didn't go in that pond after July. It's sedentary water, friend.
Really? Oh, I don't know. Is it a kettle pond or what is that? over
No,
there?
it is.
Right.
And I mean,
But
you know,
doesn't have a lot of flow. or
it's
anything?
deemed safe for swimming. It is very large. It's like 80 feet deep at some parts. It's
Right.
it's a giant, huge pond.
Right.
But for me, past July, when it gets hot like that,
Yeah.
I'm good personally.
Yeah, that's why I think I do like the ocean a little better because there's a lot more
100%.
flow. I mean, like these poor Olympic swimmers that they're forcing them into the Seine River. It might
Those
be
have
safe.
been my favorite memes.
It might be safe today. It might be safe tomorrow, or it may not be. I don't want to be might be safe.
Yeah.
And then I was reading one swimmer the other day who said, "I touched and saw things you should not ever see or touch when I was in the river."
Not the Parisians. Never the Parisians.
But then I'm like, but then of course the reporter in me, I need to know what you saw and touched. And of course I thought what was it?
well, that's because we have vivid imaginations and it could be anything.
Was it a body?
Right?
What was it?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Was it like the scene from Caddyshack? Was it what? I don't want to, right? It's a morning program.
Right.
But I think we all know what I mean when I say the pool scene from Caddyshack.
Thank you very much for that, because we are going to be sending our videos to Mashpee TV from now on. So we got to keep it clean around here.
No, I better wait. I got to leave. I shouldn't even be here.
We're
today.
doing our best. We're going to push the envelope without pushing it all the way open. What's up, Thomas? Thanks for joining us on the show.
Right, but you know what I mean? I mean, why are they allowing these swimmers into that river?
Yeah.
And why has France not cleaned up the river? You know what?
The French don't care.
We
It's their
managed
attitude.
we managed to clean up the Charles River in Boston,
Which is pretty impressive.
one of the most iconic like rock songs ever, Dirty
Mhm.
Water. A
Mhm.
song was written about how filthy the Charles River was.
Right.
And we can swim in it now. I
Right.
remember when the old governor Charlie Baker, Bill Weld jumped into it at one point after it was all cleaned up.
Yeah.
So
look, guys, I'm fine.
How can they not clean that up?
I don't
What is
know.
going on there in France?
I think that it's European in nature, right?
To be
They're like,
dirty?
it's not that
That's
bad.
not to bathe?
It's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
Oh, and also, they just romanticize everything. It's fine.
I mean, what's going to happen?
Water.
What's going to happen with are these swimmers going to have grow another head or an extra?
Well, they're
arm
not
now?
paying them anyway. So, I mean,
I don't know. I feel
these
bad
poor
for them.
people.
I feel bad for them.
Well, I mean, someone finally said something about Snoop being there. I've enjoyed Snoop being there, but I do understand that these athletes are getting paid far less than he is per day.
He had quite the outfit on the other night. It was
I'm impressed.
Snoop a loop, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just thought that was an odd choice to have as, I guess well, I don't know. I was trying to think it through. I was thinking, are they trying to attract young audience? But let's be honest, right? We grew up with Snoop Dogg, you know.
Right.
I don't think that are 22-year-olds are 22-year-olds gravitating to Snoop. I mean, he's a senior citizen now.
He's like the funny old used to be rapper guy.
He's the original OG.
Right. Like that's cute. It's like when you're playing with somebody in a nursing home, you're like, oh, Nana, do you want an extra dessert?
Did you just call
That's
Snoop?
cute.
Snoop should be a nursing home?
Like a cute old man. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's going to say inappropriate, funny things.
And smoke a lot of
Look at him. Oh, he's stoned. He doesn't know.
So you think that's what's going on?
100%. I mean, when you actually look at the lyrics of Gin and Juice and sit back to where he was at that point in life, he wasn't a nice person.
Well, that's what I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, why? I guess maybe you're right. I'm trying to figure out why Snoop Doggy Dogg. And what is he now? Is he Snoop or Snoop Doggy Dogg? Or
I think he's just Snoop.
He's just Snoop.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hooked up with Martha Stewart,
right?
I don't want to think about that.
Well, she's
situation.
gangsta in another right?
I guess, but
she did jail.
You know, she's got prison cred.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like that elevates things for you just a bit.
Well, anyway, yeah.
RTB, should I show them the meme that you sent me of the Sen? Yes.
Oh,
it was Gollum.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It looked like the wife of one of our former coworkers. I was like,
oh, boy.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling with the Olympics to a degree.
Now,
I shouldn't say struggle, but
I would like to give a disclaimer. Pitta and I are not complaining, and we are not being rude or mean or gossiping. It's just very prominent observations as a person with taste. We're Portuguese. It's what we do.
we did, and I'll talk about the Portuguese Fest later, which I know I'm in trouble for. But I've on my list. I'll talk about it later. But so as I've been watching the Olympics, I'm thinking, if only when I was a student at Boston University, and at those of you who know anything about BU, there's a thing called the GSU, the George Sherman Union, and if only when I was there, and when we were in the basement at night, drinking beers illegally and playing ping pong, if I had actually maybe tried a little harder, maybe I too could be playing the sport of ping pong in the Olympics.
Listen,
why is ping pong a game that you play when you're drunk, drinking beers in the basement of your college fraternity? Why is it an Olympic sport?
I do not
ping
know.
Pong. And don't call it table tennis.
I do not know.
Ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
So but here's the thing. I find myself now, a couple nights ago,
watching
it obsessively, trying to figure out, one, why is this in the Olympics?
Right.
And I know it's been in the Olympics forever.
Right.
But two, did you see the way that they hit the ball? They start like this.
Yeah.
With the paddle, and they woo, 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 woo.
There's finesse to this.
It's not a sport. It's a drinking game. Ping pong is a drink. It's a drinking game. Come on. Tell me it's not
BS.
A drinking game.
How many play cards? Could we go to the Olympic sport of pitch? A little bit of like Texas Hold'em.
Well, now
we feel like it's similar.
Breakdancing, right? I went to high school in the 80s. If I had known in the 80s that when I was wearing my Benetton shirt and my puffy pants,
so good,
right, and my red swoosh Nikes,
we all live this.
If I knew that back then I should have honed my breakdancing skills at Chelmsford High School, then I too could have gone to the Olympics for another fake Olympic sport. Table tennis.
I feel like there has to be something for every level of sporting competition. However, you are correct.
Ping pong's not a sport. I mean, it's two people whacking a little ball across the table.
Well, I did bring up a lovely story about a woman who was a 7-time Olympian. She retired 4 times, and she is the table tennis one.
Ping
She's
pong.
61 years old.
Ping pong.
All right, ping pong, 61 years old.
Okay, good for
Still
her.
competing. She's still winning matches.
You know where else they play ping pong? In the senior centers. Come on. It's a game I used to play drunk in the student union at Boston University.
Well, what's garnering a lot of attention, not breakdancing or ping pong. Is there anything else on your list that you've got gripes with?
About I've got a lot of gripes, but I mean,
sit back and get comfortable, everybody.
Are you talking about the Olympics?
I got a lot of problems. Yes.
All right, there's
with the Olympics.
Ping pong, the Seine River.
Yep.
Am I pronouncing that right?
I think it's Seine, but I don't know.
You know what? I don't know French.
We're not French.
You know,
although Portuguese is like only 7% difference. We should know French.
Well,
we probably do.
There are a lot of Portuguese people living in southern France,
mm-hmm.
you know, who over the years migrated from the northern
get
part
around
of Portugal. Yeah. Yeah,
we're sailors.
Exactly.
What do you want?
We once ruled the world in the 1500s. And then somehow we failed in that.
Then we decided we saw it.
Right.
We've been there, we've done it. We wrote the book. What do you want?
My theory on what happened to the Portuguese is in the 1500s when we ruled the world is when they learned the technique of Madeira wine.
Yeah.
Because they had to have wine on board. You couldn't drink the water.
Right.
So what happened was they stacked. You didn't think you were going to get a history lesson today.
I love it. Right? Welcome. Thanks,
Liz,
and Judy, Edie, Mari, Chuck. What's up?
This is the point where my friends just absolutely tune me out because I give history lessons.
I'm here for it.
All right.
I'm behind a camera.
What? So what?
Teach.
So
Preach.
let me tell you what happened. So don't worry about it. So when the Portuguese ruled the world in the 1500s and they were exploring everywhere and they were involved in the spice trade and all that stuff, they had to have wine on board, right? And so they had Madeira wine.
Yep.
Now, Madeira wine was put into the casks, right? The actual wine casks.
Yep.
So they found that as those ships were traversing, or the 7 seas, if you will, is that the sloshing of the wine actually increased its flavor and essence. When they got back to Portugal and they pulled the wine out, this is amazing.
It's the best wine we've ever made.
Right. And they realized it had something to do with the actual
salt air and sloshing,
the constant motion of the wine.
All right.
So they decided, well, this is something we have to market now. And actually,
only like my Madeira rocked.
Right. What happens is you get rocked.
Yeah, right.
You drink some Madeira. Trust me on that. So what happened is then the British Empire kind of got involved, and they wanted a licensing agreement with Madeira, with the island of Madeira.
Taxes.
And so there was this whole thing where Portugal was growing Madeira wine, or producing it exclusively for England, and then it was being sent to the colonies, and that's how Madeira wine really came around to get its influence. And I mean, it is a beautiful wine. It's the only, I don't drink a lot. But it's really the only, I don't drink any wine. I drink Madeira wine. I think it's different than regular wine. And I go to Nubege and I go to Fairhaven to get my wine, because I have to get a certain type. It's called Justino's, and it's the one that's actually served at the feast, which I forgot to invite you to. So, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. It's on my list.
All right, good.
I put it on my list. So, but Madeira wine is beautiful wine. It's beautiful. So when I get into my Madeira wine thing, I start thinking, well, I can cook anything with it. All right. So the other night I'm out on the grill.
He's all of a sudden a chef on the grill.
Right. So the other night I'm out on the grill.
Salt Bay over here.
Right. So I've got steak on the grill.
Yeah.
Right. And I've got a basket, one of those vegetable cooking baskets you use to cook your vegetables.
Yeah.
And I've got some peppers and onions and mushrooms and everything. And I'm sitting like, I think this could take some wine. I went into the kitchen, got a bottle of Justino's, and I start splashing the vegetables with Madeira.
There you go. Splashing the vegetables, splashing himself.
Right. One for me, one for the vegetables.
Exactly.
I found out that when you splash too much wine into a grill, it will ignite.
Yeah. That's a fire.
Come out, especially with Madeira wine.
Do not take any cooking tips from Matt Pitta, please.
But it's beautiful. If you haven't had real Madeira wine, and I'm not talking about the one you can get in a regular liquor store.
Right. No.
That's crap.
Right.
It's actually usually from California.
Yeah.
Because most of the Madeira wine you drink in U.S. comes from California.
Well, I was laughing. We were in the Azores 2 years ago, and we went into this place, and I was like, "Well, can we just buy this in the States?" He's like, "Yeah, pick it up in New Bedford, gave me the names of the shops.
Exactly.
I was like, thank you. This is exactly what I needed. I didn't need to put that in my suitcases.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's nothing like Madeira wine.
You know where to go if you know.
How did I get on Madeira wine?
I don't know. We got a lesson.
I was giving a history lesson. Yes.
Why the Portuguese ended up scattered everywhere.
That's right.
Right.
Right. So anyway, I was going to bring some wine today, but I didn't think it would be appropriate to drink on the radio in the morning.
It's a little early. Not that I'm against it by any means. If I had nothing to do this afternoon, I'd be fine.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Right. Well, it's a problem if I'm going to do trivia tonight at the Sandwich Taverna. I think that another thing.
Speaking of steaks, man, I love the steaks at the Taverna.
Really, really good food.
Yeah.
Please come out and hang out with us tonight. We'll be there from 6 until 8. But there was one situation that was causing an uproar at the Olympics, worse than the dirty water and worse than the sleeping conditions.
The ping pong.
Worse than the ping pong and Simone Biles and what she's doing now and how she's upsetting people and how the Italians won their first medal because everybody fell on the ground. The pole vaulter.
Oh, okay, here's the deal. I put that on my list and then I took it off.
Why?
Because I thought you wouldn't. I mean, how are we going to go down that road?
Well, because in the news today.
So if you don't know what if, I don't
go
know
ahead.
So this pole vaulter, and now let me tell you something. Pole vaulting is a sport. You have got to be a ridiculously trained athlete to be able to be a pole vaulter.
Right.
So this pole
seems
vaulter,
rather flimsy to hurl yourself over with a toothpick.
I know. This pole vaulter goes up and over, and he didn't make it over because something caught on the bar, and everybody saw it happen.
Right.
And now what?
So
I don't
as
know.
a man with that happening to you, I mean, that's probably the best way you could be DQ'd, just for the world to look at your junk. I mean, honestly, this is what disqualified you. Well, well.
That he was popular in the Olympic Village.
100%. This man is going down in history.
He's all over Tinder
But the bigger problem, no pun intended.
What?
Here was that the pole vaulter's biggest challenge has been getting their poles to Paris.
Wait a minute.
This is an actual news story today for men's and women's pole vaulters at the Paris Olympics. The most stressful part of their sport isn't clearing bars or getting a little caught up or competing for their medals. That inspires far less anxiety and the dread than figuring out how to transport their poles to and from the competition.
I thought his pole came with him.
No, apparently he had to bring his 10-foot fiberglass or carbon-filled pole. These things cost $1,000 a piece to transport. What's that in there? It's my pole.
Is that your pole? Or you
so this poor guy
happen to be in France.
This poor guy has been taking it for a while, trying to get that thing over there, and he finally gets that thing over there, and he can't get it over it.
Couldn't get
all of it.
All of it.
It's a whole lot.
It was a whole controversy.
100%. The irony isn't lost on them that the same equipment that enables them to fly through the air during competitions also gets them grounded before and afterwards. Delta, American, United, JetBlue have stopped accepting poles on flights.
I guess he's not traveling himself anyway now. He's not going to be able to even get on the airplane.
I'm
sorry, sir. You brought your pole with me. No, that's not my pole. That's
my backup. So I feel like he's now afforded himself private flights.
He's afforded himself something. He's going to be on like OnlyFans by next week or something. Oh, I mean,
These poor pole vaulters, all they want to do is bring their pole on a plane and they can't. Now this poor guy gets his junk shown all over the world. I mean, these people have problems.
Apparently the commentators, I haven't seen it yet, but I read that the commentators literally didn't know what to do.
What do you do?
Because they kept showing the replay and it became more obvious.
Like, do you zoom out, like far out?
And but listen, I mean, let's be honest. I feel bad. I want to know if he's okay because that doesn't look fun
from a male standpoint.
That was one of those,
right? But when it happened, his facial expression was one of, oh, not again. It's
oh, my pole got hung up again. Not again. You know?
That was his facial expression, like, oh man, this again.
Isn't there a way he could
like tighten up down there? Like, but you need a tighter uniform, my friend. Tighter.
You had days to talk about this. You wait for me to show
I
up today.
absolutely. Well, it was in
talk
the news today. It was just in the news today, and I figured, oh, I know what I can talk to Pitta. Somehow, you and I always get on tangents
Yes, about
of
body parts.
It's really just things that could mean
Misunderstandings.
double entendres,
right,
if you will.
Right. Jugs and poles. Right?
Jugs and poles and meat sticks. Oh my.
Oh, I had my meat stick out at the fair at the Portuguese Fest the other day too. I took it out. You want to see it? Hold on.
All right, show it to me.
Show you my meat stick here. Let's see, where is it?
Go ahead.
There it is.
Just rubbing it in
Look at
again.
those meat sticks right
Lovely.
there. Right?
Lovely poles of beef right there.
Oh, wait.
Where was I? Not there.
There's my Madeira.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I had every intention. I wanted to go this year so badly.
What's that? See if you can see how your Portuguese.
Bifana.
Oh, very good.
Trust me, I know.
What's the Portuguese name for that?
Oh, I don't know.
It's codfish, but
Bacalhau.
bacalhau.
Yeah, you gotta say it just like that, like a
Bacalhau.
chicken.
But I try to explain to my friends how to pronounce that, and they cannot for the life of them. Just it's very simple. Let's all do it together. Codfish in Portuguese, bacalhau.
There you go.
Ready? Together.
Bacalhau.
One more
Welcome.
time.
Bacalhau.
We know about fish. Right, you gotta have
It is really a disgusting language when you sit back and listen to it all happen. There's a lot of noises in
Again.
there.
Ready?
Bacalhau. Yeah, you gotta have the at the end, like your mouth
Right.
breather.
So I do apologize. So
What's up, T and Mary and John? John Cotton.
Oh,
I did not know
is he out there right now?
you could do splits
No.
at La Tavola.
Oh, John
I
did a
missed
split?
it on Friday. Doing splits,
Like a
dancing on the dance floor,
Wait a minute, like a split.
like a split.
Wait a minute.
Like a split.
Legit?
Legit.
Oh, I have to ask him about that now.
100. Now you have to demand it at all of the parties. Like if you're not getting John Cotton doing splits, then you're not getting a party.
So I know we'll talk about it a little bit, but John is driving in Seaside Lemans this year.
Oh,
So I have to talk. I just talked to I got to talk to John.
it's an unknown skill. I did not know. And then I heard, oh, he's doing it again. And then I thought, wait a minute, this is a known thing that I don't know.
like Danny Terrio like splits from
Yes,
Saturday Night
Mary
Fever.
O'Keefe, John's split was amazing. We didn't know.
I need to see this in
Right.
person.
These are stupid human skills that I need to actually just witness in real life and not see on social media after the fact. I was out there. It was 90 degrees. I had to set up all the tables and chairs with the rest of us. Mashpee Chamber of Commerce, bored people. And then I was like, okay, enjoy your party while I have to go work. Have fun.
How was it? I haven't
I-
been to that in a while.
It was 400 people.
Yeah.
So it's great. It was wonderful. I saw Miss Mary, who I don't even know how old she is at this point, but she was dancing.
Barry
Apparently,
Leclerc?
yeah. And the gentleman that was singing, crooning to everybody said that she pickpocketed him.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, we do this every year. We dance together.
So
I absolutely love her.
Mary is one of the most, I think, amazing human beings
Mhm.
I've ever met, right? She has been such an important part of Cape Cod for so many years. She worked for the county. She was a county commissioner, and she is involved in so many organizations,
Yes.
Heroes in Transition, all those kind of organizations. So a couple of maybe like a month ago, I met Sienna outside having dinner with some folks. And have you eaten outside at Sienna, right along the rail,
Yep.
where people walk by? So I'm sitting with some folks, and Mary was walking by, and she saw me, and she stopped, and she's like, just came over, so gracious. Matt, how are you? It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Big hug, and so gracious to the people I was eating dinner with. And I
She
said,
get out her little bag of rose quartz.
yes. She took out the bag and handed a couple of people I was having dinner with the rose quartz. And I said, would you like to sit with us, Mary? She said, oh, no, she was taking a stroll through
She's
the
got
commons.
stuff to do.
Yeah. And so she walked away, and the people were like, who was that? Because that was the most amazing interaction that
Mhm.
we've had. And that's just who she is.
She
what I
really
mean?
is a wonderful human.
And so they were looking at the quartz like, this is just, so amazing. So I love Mary. So she was there.
She was there.
Very nice.
And she had a great time dancing up a storm.
Good for her.
Diana wants to know, did Matt have fun at the Portuguese Fest? He did. He just showed me all
Yeah.
of his meat.
So let me tell you what happened. So the Portuguese Fest, right? Look at that look on her face. She's upset because I went to
Disappointed.
I took the meat.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
She wanted to be there with the meat stick.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest, right? Well, come on now.
That's all I wanted. I saw the malasada flowing on like Tuesday or
Right.
Wednesday when they got the tent up and running, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
Right.
And I just didn't find the time.
So here's what happened. So I always try to. It's strategy when you go to the Madeira Festival that just ended on Sunday because
sheer amount of people.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get it all done?
Right. And you want to go at the right time because for me, I have a very specific food plan.
Okay.
When I go there. Right. So I decided this year, my plan, usually what I do is I either try to go on opening night, which itself can be a little tricky depending on what the band is.
Yep.
And if I don't go on opening night, then I will try to go on Saturday when they open. Right. I like to be there during the daylight. It's just brighter. And
right.
I don't like to be there late at night.
We're not late people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm old now. Come on. So
even when I was old, I like the early party. Give me a daytime event.
Exactly.
I'm out for it.
Right. So I made the decision. Okay, Thursday it opens at 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and I'm going to be there for when it opens. I'm going to be in line. I'm going to be ready to go.
I respect that game.
I'm in the truck, making my way over the over the bridge, heading over to New Bedge, and I get off right there, the first exit New Bedford. Make my way, turn down, traffic.
Oh,
nonstop.
100%.
And I'm like, oh my god, I thought I was going to beat the traffic. So I get down. I don't think that's a Cushion Ave, whatever road that is. So when right across from the field, there's a huge open parking lot where you park full
already
at 5:55.
They did a mass amount of publicizing it this year because they were filming it for some international TV shows. And that's why everybody wanted to be a part of it this year.
So I'm like, oh my God. Then I start to panic. Like, where am I going to park?
Oh my God. I need the meat.
Like, I've got my.
How far do I have to walk for this?
I've got to get inside and marinate my meat. What am I going to do? I need time to marinate my meat. Right? What?
Nothing.
So you got to get inside. You got
Portuguese problems.
You got to get your stick and you got to put it on, and then you got to salt and marinate your
meat.
And
it's a job. It's a chore. It's got to be done
in a certain way. I bring my own stash of secret spices.
No one's surprised by this.
The problem is, as I'm walking around, I pull the bag out, and you know what it looked like?
Well, it's legal now.
No, not that.
Oh,
it was white because my mixtures. I have a special. I have a special mix.
A special mix, everybody. Watch out.
My special mix.
It's got a little bit of flour in there.
No, wait. There's a place down in Chatham, Cape Cod Salt Works, I think.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah.
And so I get sea salt.
Yeah.
From them in a jar.
Yeah.
And then I mix it with some other secret spices, but it looks mostly white. So I whip my sandwich baggie out of my pocket like this. And all of a sudden,
immediately got drug dogs around him. Just sick him.
And all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my God, do you know what this looks like?
Did this wash up from Hurricane Debbie? What?
So, legit, right? I've got it in my cargo short pants, which people mock me for anyway. So,
awesome.
So anyway,
Pitta in his jorts and his bag of cocaine. He's ready to marinate that meat.
Exactly.
Guys, but you're missing. If you're just joining us right now, please stay with us. It is actually clean, fun Madeira type festival stuff.
Oh, John. So John liked our post there. I see.
Yeah, he knows.
John and I are going to have a conversation later about this situation.
The splits.
So I finally find another parking lot way down the road. I mean, I had to basically park in Providence to come back and walk back to New Bedford, right?
Is there a shuttle?
So now I'm on a mission, right? I've got my special mixture in my pocket,
ready to go,
and I'm like, I got to get to the. Now I'm worried that there's going to be a line to get me. So I make my way down.
RTB wanted to know if you had a fanny pack, but no, it was not a fanny pack.
No, but I do have the fanny pack. You know that,
just
right?
in case he does. Yeah, he does have a fanny pack.
I do. It's beautiful. It's the same one I wore in 1989.
So good. He's so proud of it too. And every time he lets you know when he sees you with the fanny pack, I've had that since 1989.
You know what would have been the move? The move would have been wear the fanny pack and put my special mixture in and then rip that out.
That's absolutely.
That would have looked real 80s Miami.
You would have looked like you were something out of The Hangover.
So I make, but now this is where it comes to you.
Yep.
Because I worry about you. I think about you all the time. Apparently not enough this time though. So I come down, make the turn, and then you have to actually, no matter how old you are, you have to get a wristband,
right?
Which is good because they want to make sure there isn't underage drinking.
Yes.
So you have to get a wristband before you can order any alcohol. So before you can walk into the grounds, you have to go and they look at your license, what have you. I walk in, I show them my license. They put the wristband on me, and I literally to myself say, "Oh, blank, blank, blank. Stephanie's going to find out about this," and I'm screwed. I swear to God, I'm
the
not
minute
lying
I
to you.
saw that photo, I was like, "You son of a!"
I swear to God, I do not lie to you. I don't lie.
I mean, I know you had tunnel vision. It was all about the meat, and
Right.
there was no me in there. I get it.
But so it gets better. So I'm like, oh my God. So then I start thinking, should I text her right now? And then I had to go through the thought process of what's worse. Is it worse that I text her now because then she goes, "Oh yeah, you only thought about me when you walked into the festival. I'm an afterthought in your life."
100%.
Or do I just take the bullet and
he
deal with
decided
this
to be
here?
a little kid, and I'm going to put off that scolding as long as possible. Maybe she'll never notice. Maybe she might just scroll past me.
So then
Maybe nothing will happen.
So I walk in and then I take some pictures, and then I have to have a debate with myself about whether I should post the pictures only because of you. You literally listen to me. My decision on my social media that night was based solely around Stephanie Viva.
Thank you.
And I was like, if I post this, how soon am I going to get the nasty text?
How quickly?
How
minutes?
quickly? It was less than 10 minutes. And I think you said, "Oh, I didn't get the invite."
Oh,
I missed the call.
I'm my phone. I'm looking for it to ring.
Right. So like, okay, I'm taking the pain. If I had texted you right at that moment, would you have gotten in the car and driven over there?
No.
Okay.
No. It was totally fine.
My apologies. So
Good morning, Ralphie and Tammy, Susan and Linda. Ralphie joining us from Florida.
What's up, Ralphie? I hope you made it through all the rain down there with Debbie. So down at Fort
little
Myers.
Debbie providing a lot of rain.
Right, exactly. So anyway, so I go in, I get the meat, but so I'm very regimented, right?
Yeah.
I go in, first thing I do is I want my t-shirt because the t-shirts sell out quickly.
Right.
So I go in, get in line, get my t-shirt, right? Get my 2020, whatever it is, 2024 feet.
I know, right? What year is it?
I go, I get the meat, take care of the meat. After the meat, Bafana. So then I eat the meat.
You're gonna have a snack while it's marinating.
Well, no, after I eat the meat.
Oh, okay.
After I cook the meat, then the meat is kind of like the appetizer.
Right?
Right. Then the Bafana is kind of like the second course. So I go and get Bafana.
This is like the Portuguese fare, just in case you're wondering
Right.
why we're talking about this. It's delicious.
So then after I get the Bafana, and I got actually a funny second side story of this. So I get the Bafana and I go over to where there are some high tops and I'm standing there eating my Bafana. I had my Madeira. I washed it down with a Sumal. You ever have Sumal?
Of course. Was it the passion fruit one?
Yes. I wash it down with Sumal. Then I'm like, okay, I let it rest for a minute. I watch one of the Portuguese bands play for a little bit. Then I go over and get my bacalhau. And I enjoy my bacalhau. And of course, as a Portuguese person, it's interesting. If you go to any of the Portuguese restaurants in New Bedford, Fall River, it doesn't matter what it is. You got to have French fries with it. They put French fries on everything.
Everything.
So I had to have some French fries. So I had my bacalhau and
batatas.
And right. And then I had that and I ate that and enjoyed that. I let that settle. I got another Madeira wine. I got another Sumal.
It's a great story.
Right. Then my debate was, do I get some favish? And I'm like, no, I'm going to hold off on the favish.
No. Vegetables can't enter this temple. No, right. Not yet.
Exactly. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to get this point, I'm like, maybe I'll come back on Saturday and get favish. And then I think, okay, if I come back, then I can call Stephanie.
Yeah, right.
And that's going to come the second time to the Madeira Fest.
Did you go twice?
No.
Oh,
I didn't.
I would have been so mad.
I know. I didn't go because of you. Thank you. So then malasadish.
Got to have it.
2 of them. So, and I knew that I was going to be driving back to the Cape with them.
Sounds painful.
So I double bagged them because I don't want them to leak. Because
Right,
they're very greasy. I had 3/4 of one on the way home in the car.
Oof.
When I got home, it was nighttime by the time I got back on the
That's
Cape.
it.
I opened the door in the truck and there is sugar everywhere.
Oh, 100%.
If you haven't had a malasadish, it's Portuguese.
There's no delicate eating of that whatsoever. It's
isn't.
like giving a 2-year-old a powdered donut and saying, there you go, have fun with that.
So then I had the second one, right? I didn't eat the second one, but I saved that one. But I'm like, how am I going to keep this fresh? So I came up with this idea, and it worked actually. I
Mm.
should put it on my Pinterest page so as a tip.
I love this.
I have a Pinterest page, by the way. So I took it in the bag, put it back in the double bag, wrapped it up tight, airtight. I put it in the refrigerator,
Oh,
right? Because here's what happens.
did it maintain its crispness?
Yes.
And then the sugar didn't melt?
That's the key, because what happens if you don't, the sugar will just melt
It's all
into the dough,
soggy.
right? So you don't want soggy dough.
No one wants that.
So I wrap it up tight. I put it in the fridge. And then the next night afterwards, after dinner, I took it out, cut that one in half, took it out, put it in the microwave for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like it had just come out of the fryer.
Ooh, sounds
beautiful.
good.
So it's funny to talk about the reach of the Portuguese festival, right?
Mhm.
So later that next day, I get my friend says, it shows you how many people go to this thing.
Yeah.
One of her friends, right, had been there taking pictures. Now, my friend's friend doesn't know me,
Right.
right, and just happened to be taking random pictures.
And you were in it?
I was in it. Right, I was in it.
Yes. I love this.
I was literally, it was a picture of me with the Bafana in my mouth.
busted.
It was just a random, I mean,
Like, who's that guy behind you? Is that Pitta? It is.
it was. Think about that.
It's awesome.
How random is that?
So good.
Anyway, so the Bandera Fest is done for the year.
Mhm.
Next year, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
If I bring you some Madeira wine, does that make up for it?
Absolutely.
All right.
All bets are off.
I've got a couple bottles. Of
I'll just have to go to like Portugalia over there and
Oh
go.
my God. Have you been to Portugal?
No,
What?
I've just seen the commercials. I just found out it's real.
I go there just when I want something on a
They
whim.
have like a temperature controlled bacalhau room.
It is amazing. It's the length of your house,
Like,
right?
we gotta go.
It's amazing. Everything there is from Portugal.
It's kind of like Italy for Portuguese.
It is totally, right? Everything is amazing.
Yeah.
They've got legit chouriço and linguiça. You want to talk about big pieces of meat,
We gotta go.
right?
Cases and cases of meat, everybody.
They have legit chouriço. Now, listen, I have chouriço and linguiça on a regular basis, but you have to go to the store. You have to buy the store-bought stuff for
Yeah.
the most part. Their stuff is hanging from the string there.
Yeah, that's what you want.
It's homemade.
Mhm.
It's crazy good.
Yeah.
So you can, and they have different types and hotness, if you will, for each one.
Good.
I like to go over there and get my pastonada.
Yeah.
I get my custard cups,
Yeah.
etc. You've got to go over there. It's amazing. Plus, they have a huge rooster right in the middle,
I love it.
right? When you walk in, you're like, wow, that is a large
Yep.
rooster.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have roosters, and in my office, I have one, my Portuguese rooster.
Gotta have it.
People are like, what is that? And then I have to give them the story about why there's a rooster in my
Yep.
office.
I love.
Anyway, but
You should just be able to say I'm Portuguese. That's why.
I know.
Beat it. I've got 2 little inflatable roosters that I make the boys wear during the Mashpee Farmers Market.
Do you really?
Yeah, it looks like they're riding on their back. It's actually kind of cute.
So while we're let me just see if I can quickly find that one.
Oh, show me all the
from-
goodness of all of the foods.
No, I'm going to try to find you the picture of that rooster that they have in Portugalia. So
It's right in the parking lot, right?
No, it's in the middle of the store.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to just quickly look here, and while we do this, and see if we can quickly find it.
good
Oh,
morning,
yeah.
Miss Cindy.
Ready?
Yeah,
This is what you see when you walk in. Isn't that
it's
amazing?
perfect.
It's a
It's a big perfect. You know what?
Does this relate back to the
Stop
Olympian?
showing me your male rooster over here.
Is this? Can they see it on the camera? Can I show the camera? Will they be able to see
I
it?
think you can. Yes, turn her around. You can zoom in on it. Everybody else wants to see Matt's big one. Look at the big rooster. There she is. The red hat.
Right.
What's up, Chris? Thanks for joining us on the show. Amy, how are you?
So I've been busy.
Apparently, yes.
I've been busy not inviting you.
Son of a. I saw you on the boat. I'm like, Pitta's living the life of Riley. I get no phone calls. I did, however, get a chance for him to book an appearance on the show today to talk about all the good things he's been doing and being up to. But actually, in all realness, the beneficiaries for the Seaside Lemans have
Yes.
been announced.
So we're very excited about this. And-
Great group this
Yeah,
year.
very excited. And first of all, we're excited that you are with us again this year.
So fun.
So those of you who don't know, Seaside Lemans is one of the main charitable organizations that the Davenport Companies runs. We're based over in South Yarmouth. The Seaside Lemans going into its 23rd year now, 22 years of racing,
Incredible.
right? And it all started back in 2001. And of course, we know what happened in 2001.
Mm.
So what Seaside Lemans is it's we take over half of Mashpee Commons, and we race F1 style karts in Mashpee Commons, all for charity. So we have beneficiaries that we announce every year. We have sponsors, and if you follow us, if you don't, please do follow us on social media.
It's such a
Seaside
big
Lemans.
fundraiser, and it's
Mhm.
also just a really amazing sight to see when you go into the Mashpee Commons with your family and watch this really cool race happening for charity.
So what we do is all of the money raised goes to these charities. So we sign up teams of sponsors and drivers, and they race these F1 style karts in Mashpee Commons. We set up this huge track there, and it takes place this year on September 7th. And this all started in 2001, and the Davenport family and DeWitt Davenport, they were coming back from a management what's not a training exercise, but a
Conference.
yeah, you
or...
take your managers out team building.
Oh, okay.
They were off on a team building exercise at the old F1 up in Braintree, and DeWitt says they had such an amazing time when they were coming back. And this is the way DeWitt thinks. He's always thinking about the community. As they were coming back, he said, how can we leverage this amazing time we had for Cape Cod?
Mm-hmm.
And he literally hatched the idea on the way home of, you know what? He always thinks big. He's like, how can we get all those carts on Cape Cod?
Right.
People are like, you're
okay. He's
Well,
like, no, really though.
and it happened.
Yeah.
So they brought all the carts. The first year was on Main Street in Hyannis.
I remember.
Right? And,
I was in the media heat.
Right.
I did not,
Did you
do,
not do
great.
well?
I did terrible. I hit so many bales of hay.
Right. So that happened on 9/11. The race was scheduled for, I think, 4 days after 9/11, 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So the story is told is they said, should we even still hold this race? And in fact, they said, not only should we hold it, we have to hold it, because this is going to be a big community event to bring the community together
Mm-hmm.
in solidarity with each other. And that's how Seaside Lemans began. This year, by the time we're done fundraising, we're going to be just under, ready, $10 million.
Insane. I knew it was going to be a big bar this year. I mean, I really feel like we could get to the 10 million. I know it's a stretch, but
so we're going to be over 9. We're over 9. We're going to be close to $10 million raised. Thank you to everybody who's involved. All of our sponsors.
It's insane.
Yeah. And so over the next several weeks on our social media, we're going to be writing stories about all of our sponsors and our beneficiaries, because we want to tell the story of the companies that are donating, and we want to tell the story of who's benefiting. So this year's beneficiaries, Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance, amazing organization.
Yeah. Yep.
This year's the money is going to what they call Small Boats Big Taste program. Now the goal of the alliance is to engage the local fishing community, and
we've been working a lot with them and their fishers, bringing some of that to our market, the Mashpee Farmers Market. So we're so thankful for our small fishers, and I'm acutely aware of their issues.
So the money this year, they're going to use their money for the Big Taste program. And what that does is they produce haddock chowder and fish stew to help local independent fishermen stay on the water. They get a fair and stable price, and they take that product and supply it to food banks.
Amazing.
Right. So it's a win-win situation. Cape Cod Healthcare, which it receives money many times each year, each race, they're going to be using it to support their comprehensive cancer care, treatment, and care for patients.
Which we need.
Big issue, for Cape Cod. They will continue to help fund their comprehensive cancer care program that gives a full suite of services for cancer patients, from beginning to end. It's not just about the medical treatment. It's about the social needs, the emotional help, etc. So we're excited about that. Another such critically important organization on Cape Cod is Children's Cove, which is they're going to be using their money to expand their Teen Task Force program. Children's Cove, as you probably know or may know, provides care and compassionate care for survivors of child abuse and child sex abuse, which is horrific. And when you hear the stories, the work that they're doing God's work.
Honestly, yep, they're just amazing people.
So this year, that money is going to be used to expand their Teen Task Force, which is taking a stand for kids.
Yeah, our teens need places for sure. And
what's really heart-wrenching is when we went there to announce to them that they had received funding.
Yeah.
And I've known Stacey Gallagher for a long time, who runs the program, and they gave us kind of the number of kids that they help each year, which
isn't it devastating?
Horrific.
I know.
What makes it more horrific is that they said that's actually a small percentage of the kids who probably actually need their
Mhm,
services. So
for sure.
another group that we're really excited about, they've actually just formally changed their name. They were known as the Health Ministry Alliance, and they've rebranded as the Brazilian Resource Center.
Okay.
And they're dedicated to enhancing holistic well-being through mental and physical empowerment for the Brazilian community and beyond,
Yep.
but definitely for the immigrant community here on Cape Cod. And if you don't know yet the impact that the Brazilian community has on the Cape, read
It's
about it.
massive.
I can tell you right now, without the Brazilian community, without the people that have come here from Brazil to live and work and become part of our society,
Mhm.
the Cape would cease to operate.
Yeah, it's actually staggering, the
End of
number.
story,
Mhm.
right? It's probably around 30,000, maybe, if not more. So the Brazilian Resource Center, formerly Health Ministry, is also one of this year's beneficiaries. I know another one that you're very it's important to you, Heroes in Transition,
Love them.
right? They're going to use the funding this year for expanding veteran services across Cape Cod. They started here in Mashpee, and they have been expanding over the years. And one of the areas that they have been looking to try to get more involved with is Lower Outer Cape.
Yeah.
A lot of vets down there
Yes.
that need services. So they're going to be using their money this year to help expand veteran services across Cape Cod. So those are this year's beneficiaries: Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance, Cape Cod Healthcare, Children's Cove, the Brazilian Resource Center, and Heroes in Transition. So
I'm very excited to see Heroes there, only because they are the most fierce group of competitors I have ever been involved in.
amazing, right?
Raising money and having fun, but also very, very downright competitive. So we're going to get all these people in a cart raising money for charity, and it's all wonderful. But when you put them behind the wheel and there's a competition at stake, things turn very different.
Right.
This is serious.
Big time.
Right?
We have teams that actually go train
Mhm.
in advance of Seaside Lemans. So
You don't mess around.
no, and we're very excited that you're going to be part of it again this year. Stephanie and Lemonadio will be playing music.
Yeah.
She and I will be causing chaos.
Absolutely. That's what we love to do. You
Right.
give Matt Pitta and I a microphone and just leave us alone. We're
Right.
good.
And we have 4 hours to do it.
Right? Plenty of time.
And so people,
we draw people.
I know.
They're like, we knew we heard your voices somewhere. We had to find it.
It's funny because there are always new people that come to the race, right?
Yeah.
So last year we had many people, spectators and some sponsors that were newer to the Cape. And after the race was over, a couple of them had come over and they said, "Oh, we thank you. This is such an amazing event. And we love that woman who was with you," right? These are people who are new to the Cape, right?
Right.
They said, "It's funny. Do you two know each other? You should, right? You two should do a show together."
Oh,
been there.
right. I know. We know. If anybody wants to hire us, we're ready to do it. As long as it doesn't interfere with our other 47 jobs.
Exactly.
We will happily do a show together at any point in time because we are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we think.
Yeah. So Saturday, September 7th, you will be there. Lemonadia will be there.
Yes.
And Seaside Lemans, if you can still volunteer. We're
Yes.
taking volunteers. We're pretty much set. We can still take a couple of more cart sponsors, but we also have a thing called Friends of Seaside Lemans.
Okay.
So, and this is everything. If you want to donate $5 to the cause,
I would love to see that number get over $10 million this year. I know it's a huge ask, but why not throw it out there into the universe?
And so seasidelemans.org is our website. And this is one thing I just want to mention. This is so important, right? And we've been involved in charity groups our entire careers down here. And because we believe in our community, I obviously believe in this, I'm involved with it, but this is what's really important. Every dollar we raise this year, whatever that final number is going to be, that entire figure is going to go right to those beneficiaries. There is not one penny that we raise that goes to administration or the cost to run the race.
That is so important to me, the transparency of that, because, everybody's got to live. And it was really funny. I was at a comedy show fairly recently, last Monday at the Wharf, and they brought up, doing a little crowd work. What do you do for a living? Right. Oh, I work for a nonprofit. He goes, oh, so, that's the biggest scam. That's the biggest racket. That's the biggest this. Right. And, I raising cell phones for this and that. And the guy was really nice about it. And then the comedian was just relentless about, so you don't pay yourself, right? No. So, yeah, it is important that all of those dollars go back to these beneficiaries because they are doing the bulk of the heavy lifting of the community work. So, and I love that you pick new ones every year.
Yeah. And there's a pretty hefty cost.
And it's stringent
to put
too. They've
this
got to
on.
pony up money
Yes,
too. It's not like
correct.
they just get all this free dollars. No,
Right.
they have to match those dollars, right?
What
It's
we-
like a process.
What we like to do is we, as part of the vetting process, we tell organizations as part of the vetting process that if you are a beneficiary, we are going to ask you to leverage this money to try to collect a similar sum.
Yeah.
And we find, and here's why it's very effective that way, because there are a lot of other organizations, foundations, people who are philanthropic, if you will, who are willing to donate to an organization if they know it's got some backing behind it.
And you gotta have a skin in the game. I'm
Right.
sorry, gotta.
So it really helps these organizations
Yeah.
do that. So the entire cost, the administration of it, everything, the race day, everything, the Davenport companies, the family writes the check and pays for it out of their money.
Yeah.
100%. So again, if you're thinking of donating and you're like, well, where's my money going to go? 100% of the dollars is going to be distributed between those 5 charities this year. So it's
Amazing.
gonna be exciting. So
Ryan wants to know when it is. September 7th.
Mashpee Commons.
Mashpee Commons.
Right? The flag, the start flag waves at noontime
Yeah.
and ends at 4.
We'll be all there set up already. We'll be there. He's there at the crack of dawn
Mhm.
setting everything up and making sure it runs because we have to have a safety check. There's a lot of logistics involved in
Right.
this.
They don't let me drive anymore, by the way.
That's disappointing.
Well, because I allegedly caused
Magoo over here.
I allegedly was too aggressive in passing somebody one day. I mean,
Well, they were
shocking
slow.
that was
No, not you.
So anyway, so Saturday, September 7th, Mashpee Commons, seasidelemans.org. Please come on down, help and support the charity. There's a kids fun zone, things going on.
Oh, plenty
in
of
the
stuff
center,
for them to do.
right? There'll be food there. We do have we have some hamburgers and hot
It's
dogs.
Kiwanis, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't want to take away from all the Mashpee Commons restaurants.
Right.
Those will be open. So you'll please come down and
Plenty of food, plenty of parking.
So
I live at the Mashpee Commons now. It's what I do.
Right.
So I'm there all the time. Hi, it's me. Ryan from the Quahog Republic, by the way. What was your beef with Quahogs?
you want to get into this?
Yeah.
So here's the issue.
He has
First
a
of all-
full list of things before he steps here. He's got like a Stephanie's list of
It says
stuff we've got to
Stephanie-
talk about.
What does that say?
Stephanie topics.
Stephanie Thomas. I will literally be driving down the road.
Stirring and stirring.
I will literally be driving down the road sometimes and like something happens, like, oh wait, I gotta write this
Love that
down.
I'm in there.
Right.
Here, I'm in there.
So this is what's just bizarre. First of all, I love stuffies. Right? I'm a huge stuffy fan.
Yeah.
Right.
There's somebody that I'm trying to get who is starting a business, and apparently he's got the best stuffies ever. It's debatable because I'm a champion stuffy stuffer.
You won that contest.
Right.
We did
My
it.
trophies are on the desk.
Is that it right there?
There are 2 of them, right?
That
Side
was
by
the
side.
Trader Ed.
Yeah.
We went to Trader Ed's, right?
And those are Quahog ones from the Quahog Republic.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm, right?
So here's the thing. I love it. It's 2 things. One, you know that somebody's not from the area or a server isn't from the area, and we love all of our servers down here. If I go to a restaurant and I want one,
Yeah.
and I will just say, I'll have a stuffy, please. And if someone stares at you like, what did you just say to me?
You don't belong here.
What did you just say to me? Like, a stuffy. I want a stuffy.
Can you get somebody that speaks English?
Here, stuffy. And then, when you say it 3 times, they still say, I don't know what you're saying. I want a stuffy. Stuffed, you have to say, because on the menu it's a stuffed
Right.
quahog.
Yeah.
But we call them
They're stuffies.
stuffies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what's just so bizarre, though. So Rhode Island has found themselves kind of having in a little bit of a controversy because they decided that as part of their tourism campaign for the year, they wanted to promote the fact that Rhode Island has stuffies.
Okay.
So they had somebody create a huge stuffy that they're traveling around to places, including the airport.
Yeah.
And people like, that looks like a big pile of poo.
Oh no.
There's the picture.
Oh nope. That is very unfortunate.
That is what they're using, right? Look,
It's so ugly.
this is a traveling exhibit that they've been rolling around Rhode Island to promote. And
It
people
looks like
said,
a gross meatball.
so this person says, maybe I'm in the minority, but I cannot reconcile gigantic fake stuffy statues.
No.
Right. So
And I'm not teasing that one restaurant in Hyannis, you know who you are, where you've got your food on top of your vehicles. And we're all like, what? But what was the decision there? But
Right.
why?
I know, exactly. So the story reads, and this is where the controversy starts. So it says, let's see, Massachusetts is known for its seafood, more specifically clam chowder.
So ugly.
But what about the rest of New England, like Rhode Island? Also known for its seafood scene, a food that might come to mind is calamari, which is apparently the state appetizer in Rhode Island. Instead of capitalizing on calamari, the Rhode Island Commerce Corporation decided to do the stuffy.
Why can't you do the clam cake? Like Rocky Point, clam cake.
So the agency responsible for Rhode Island's, and this would explain stuff. It's Rhode Island. Let's
right. Yeah, that's fair.
Come on now, right? We pass through Rhode Island.
You're right.
Connecticut. Right? I'm getting in trouble.
It's a get through.
Right? It's like
I'm from Attleboro, everybody.
Right?
We're bordering. I know. I understand it.
So the agency that's responsible for Rhode Island's statewide economic development, which explains a lot, created a campaign starring a 200-pound replica quahog made of styrofoam that sits on a large plate next to an 8-foot-tall bottle of hot sauce. They have two of them that they are touring not only Rhode Island, but they're sending around the country.
That's somebody's job. That is somebody's job.
It is now the subject of online criticism by the agency's strongest detractors, Rhode Island themselves.
100%. Not only did you make it out of styrofoam, but now you're touring around, so you're wasting gasoline. Like, this is just a ginormous waste.
One commentator says, quote, "We have a great culinary scene, and having a giant baby poo on a clam is not going to bring in more tourists." The commentator said, "Poo on a clam is not a way to bring people to Rhode Island."
Wow, can't wait to go to that place. That looks appetizing.
Another commentator said, who was not from Rhode Island and had no idea what a stuffy is, says, "That looks to me like a big, unappetizing, flattened, smushed baked potato that somebody stepped on and put paprika on top." When it comes to looks alone, the oven-baked clams aren't the most attractive food to start out with.
They're not cute.
But the commentator said, "Why would you take an already unattractive piece of food and then make it 200 pounds and then say, this is what you should come to Rhode Island for a piece of shell filled with poo?"
Guys, back to the drawing board on that one. The lighthouse, clearly they're not showcasing any bridges in Rhode Island.
To complicate, right? To complicate matters worse, outside of Rhode Island, very few people know what a stuffy is. When they ask, we say stuffed quahog. And then they say, what is a quahog? Annika Kibble Huntley, the chief marketing officer of the Rhode Island Commerce, said that's part of the campaign.
Oh, what is it?
We need to target markets with our stuffy, including Detroit and Baltimore, to learn about the stuffy. I was unaware that Detroit was so interested in stuffy.
What's that?
We want people to talk about the stuffy.
Well, they are.
That's what the goal is to create buzz and raise awareness about the unique stuffy that comes from Rhode Island. This is art and has a promise of going viral.
Well, you know what? Here we are talking about poo on a clamshell, and this is doing exactly what they wanted to do. Apparently, was make something so bad that your neighboring state has to say, "Wow, that's embarrassing."
So, yeah, I mean, again, hold on. Let me just so you can. I'll show it to you again,
guys. Back to the drawing board on that one.
It's
so bad.
It doesn't. You wouldn't know what that is.
No,
right?
No.
Now on the Cape, if we used a cod, you know what a cod looks like, right? When you see a picture of a fish,
there's a little fish.
Oh, that's a cod. Or a shark. Oh, that's a shark. What's that? Oh, it looks like a big pile of poo. And on the plate it says "Visit Rhode Island." Visit Rhode Island, and you'll come join us for look. Visit Rhode Island, and we have poo.
Good morning, Dawn Tuttle. Thanks for joining us from the West Coast. She said, "Wake and bake."
I mean,
and bake that clam.
But I tell you, I mean, but listen, there's nothing better than a stuffy.
I know it. I'm
What
going to be at the Quahog Republic tonight. One of our trivias. Tobias will be there from 6 until 8. He'll be at the Whalers Tavern.
Which one are you at?
He's at the Whalers Tavern tonight.
Oh, okay.
6 until 8. So heading to New Bedford where there'll be no traffic whatsoever because all of that is gone.
Can he stop and get you some Justinos?
I might have to
Cardozo?
text him and just be like, by the way, can you get me a little Justinos? And by the way, can you stop at Portugalia and pick me
Yes.
up some things?
Yes.
Because I've got a list now
Yes.
and I've got some serious issues I need to deal with since Matt Pitta never called me again for the feast.
What is the secret to your stuffy?
The spice.
What is it?
It's a special mix.
I know, but what is it?
I can't tell you.
Come on.
No.
Will you make me one?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually want to have bring back the stuffy competition. We used to do it at the Quahog Republic
Yes.
for the Scholarship Foundation for Falmouth High School. And I would like to just reignite that once again and maybe do it at one of our fall farmers markets to have a stuffy day.
I'm going to throw
Because you threw down at the last competition,
Yes.
right?
Yep. Mhm. I'm going to throw Marty Vermel under the bus right now, and let's have it be a Highness Chamber of Commerce
I'm
event.
down.
Let's create
I'm
a
in.
new charity event for the Highness Chamber of Commerce, and we'll bring back the stuffy contest.
I'm 100. Happy belated birthday, Marty. I hope
Yes.
you're doing something nice and fun for yourself. Can we pick a date and get that on the books? Because I would love to bring this back.
That was a lot of fun. when we
Yeah.
did the stuffy
COVID ended a lot of fun competitions like that. So I'd
Time
like
to
to
have
bring
fun
it back.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So let's do this. How about if I go to get you some Justinos in the next couple of weeks, will you make me a stuffy?
Yes, I will.
And can we have a Portuguese exchange like in the middle of the night?
Absolutely.
Like we'll meet down the street. Here's the
This
you
is
know
getting weird.
you know what? There are some areas off 151 that are kind of like you pull off and looks like sketchy. Like there's some weird stuff happening in the woods over there, right?
We're exchanging clams. Leave us alone.
So let's meet. Let's do it. Let's have an exchange.
I love it.
I'll pull out a couple bottles.
Perfect.
You pull out your stuffy.
We'll make the exchange.
Maybe I'll have some of my secret spice. I'll pull out of my that will look like, right?
We'll have to meet in Hyannis, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They won't bother with
won't
us.
bother.
They won't even bat an eyelash
Exactly.
there with all the stuff that they're dealing with. They
Right.
won't notice us.
And then we can have an exchange.
Yeah, I like it.
Wine for stuffies.
Yeah, I feel like Mashpee and Harwich, I feel like Hyannis is like the natural
middle.
meeting spot for us to do this.
All right. I'm going to go over there and get you some Justinos.
All right, and I'll make you some stuffies.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Portugalia.
Perfect.
I go to Portugalia to get my Somal. So if you don't know what Somal is, you got to get it.
best soda.
Somal is Portuguese flavor. It's Portuguese soda.
Right.
They've got orange, pineapple, and passion fruit.
But it's Azorean, right? Or just Portuguese in
It's
general.
Portuguese, yeah. It's
Not like the
imported direct.
Brazil. Don't confuse it with the Guarana.
No.
It's different.
No, totally different. And you used to be able to get Somal at one of the Stop and Shops.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Took it away from us.
So now I just go over to the homeland over in New Bedford, and
The homeland.
I go over there to either you can get it at Cardoza's or you get it at Portugalia, and they sell it by the case.
Yep.
Right.
Got to do it.
I have a beverage fridge in my kitchen,
Not surprised.
and so I had some friends come down earlier in the summer. And in fact, they're coming down this weekend. If they're not here now, they probably just already walked into my house for all I know. They're like,
This is what happens.
where's the key? I'm like, I'm not leaving you a key.
This is a Cape Cod. Where's your boat? We're
Right,
leaving.
I know,
You got to work today, I heard.
You're right. My friend Roger says, "Where's my boat? His boat. Like it's not your boat."
Charles says, please record the interaction with the cops when explaining your transaction. Absolutely. Paul Menard is listening to us from the Pine Hills right now in America's hometown. Great show, guys.
I love Plymouth. I've been going up to Plymouth a lot recently.
Mhm.
Found a lot of cool restaurants up there
Yeah.
in Plymouth.
Well, my girlfriend Julie lives over there and we went to the beach. Cold water. It was
colder, yeah.
beautiful. Refreshing.
Yeah. Tavern on the Wharf
Yeah.
down there is really cool.
So good.
Where else? There's a new Añejo just opened up
Yeah.
in downtown. And this other place, Martini's, is really good
Yep.
in Plymouth. So, and actually, it's really, I mean, I love our Italian places here in the Cape, but man, you got to go up there to Mamma Mia's
Mhm.
in Plymouth. Anyway, so to Paul's point, we've got this. I'm going to put this whole thing together.
Okay.
And I see the whole exchange happening.
I love it.
Maybe I'll bring you a piece of salted cod too. I'll whip out my salted cod. Here's my salt cod.
What is happening over there?
Right.
Is this illegal? Are they importing something illegal?
What's on that cod? What's all that white
Nothing.
substance on that?
Nothing.
cod? Right?
Don't look at it.
I was actually no. I'm like no. All kidding aside, so I'm thinking I may take a run over there this week, depending on if my friends have invaded my house yet or not at this point.
Right.
But because I wanted to make some bacalhau this week. My father has the most amazing bacalhau recipe. It's a little bit of a twist
Yep.
on what you typically would make, right?
Okay.
So you have to get the salt cod,
Yeah.
legit salt cod, right? You got to soak it for 28 hours or so.
It's a process.
It's a whole thing. You got to be committed to it.
Yeah.
You soak it, you drain it, you soak it, you drain, blah, blah, blah. So my dad's recipe, which comes from his mom,
Okay.
who's from Madeira.
Yep.
My grandmother's straight off the boat. Like she got off the boat and went to work in the mills in Lowell.
Perfect.
So he uses red pepper, green pepper, and yellow pepper.
Okay.
Chops them, dices them into cubes. Sweet onion, Vidalia onions.
Yep.
Chops them up. He uses a little bit of regular vinegar, but here's his twist on it. He uses balsamic white vinegar.
Oh.
Which gives it a little bit of a sweet and tangy taste.
Interesting.
And then mixes it all together. And it's a little bit I would say a little sweeter than the traditional bacalhau that you get at the feast or somewhere else. So I was planning on making some. So I've got to make a run over there because it's almost impossible to find salt cod like that on the Cape.
Right.
Again,
right.
I used to be able to find it at Stop and Shop, but I can't find the real salt cod. And you got to get it in the wooden box.
I'm showing you, I'm pulling up the
box.
photos. I was recently at a family party. It was a graduation party and my whole Portuguese side was there. And it was a hush over the room when I walked in the room because apparently all the aunties, all the tias thought that I looked like my grandmother. I never met her.
Yeah.
And it was like silent. And everyone's just staring at me. And I'm like,
you would come back from the dead.
Right? Literally. So they were all like quietly. Now I don't think that I look anything like her, but I was laughing at when my cousin sent me my great grandmother from the old country. No, this is the woman. Yeah, this is the woman that you want making your food.
Totally. Right?
Like she looked like she was in a shed. She's just in a shed making something.
But she's got the babushka.
Oh, 100%.
Everything.
Yeah, that is your typical Portuguese woman.
That's your great grandmother.
That's my great grandmother.
Your great grandmother.
Yeah.
That's an amazing photo.
Right?
It
Exactly.
Really
so I would love to like get it and like clean it up and like have a version of that somewhere around here.
You don't get more Portuguese than
that.
Right?
No. And apparently that piece of land is still there and it's still in my family.
Name.
No, it is.
Yeah.
So I was like, not a problem. David Vieira, we're working on the passports, right? How is that going? I'd like to talk to you a little bit more. We got to go. We've been yapping for like an hour plus. We're going to get this exchange going. We are going to be working on that Quahog Fest. We got Seaside Lemans coming up. And what else is going on? You're going to have to come back.
Yeah, I have my list is long.
We haven't even scratched the surface.
I know. Okay, we'll come back again because I want to. I mean, I'll talk all day.
Yes.
You and I sit here for the next.
I
10
know.
hours. But I've got other I've got other issues I need to address, etc. I've got issues with social media.
We didn't even get to that whole debacle and debate.
It's up to you. I think that deserves an entire another show.
I agree
because I want to explore it.
Yes,
I want to mine it. I want to get to the heart of it, and I want to fix it.
He's got big problems with you people, and he's got to share it with everybody.
I'm telling you, I really do. So,
how do people donate once again to the Seaside Lemans or get involved or volunteer?
Right, seasidelemans.org. Go right to the website. On the portal, you'll find information on how to donate. You can also, we'd love to see you at the race on September 7th at Mashpee Commons. The race starts at noon, but activities
follow the roar of the cart.
Yeah, but activities start a little bit earlier, so you can come by and you'll have the kids zone. It's gonna be a great time. It's just, I mean, it's an amazing event.
It's awesome.
There are so many charitable events and good causes on the Cape, but this is an event. It's just it's a unique event,
right?
We all of us help out with golf events and road races and all that, and they're all great and meaningful. But this is just so unique.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and so just to show you kind of the commitment that DeWitt has to this. So after COVID, F1 went out of business. They couldn't survive, right? So we were like, well, what are we going to do?
Right.
They come down here.
This is our race.
So DeWitt went and talked with them, and he said, you know what? He said that race is going to continue. He went and bought everything. He bought all the carts. He bought everything.
Okay.
And now we own the carts. So,
can't beat him. Join him. We'll just buy it.
Right. Because he said we have to. The race is too important.
Yeah.
To not. And you know what? He bought them with his own money.
Yeah.
Not the money that we raise.
It's amazing.
You know, so we love to see you on September 7th. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be, I've got all these things that I know what I'm going to do. I haven't even told you about the dream I had about us.
Wait, what? That is a whole nother show. We are going to come back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Matt Pitta, everybody.
It involved you and I flying a helicopter over the Cape, and then it goes from there. And
this has to happen.
And it involves Cliff screaming at us.
Well, that's not a surprise. You idiots found yourself into what now? I got to clean up your messes.
Right.
This sounds about right.
It had to do with the fact that you wanted it. You wanted the Lemonadio sign on the helicopter, and we were trying to do it.
I'll do it myself. Let's go.
It involves us having a radio station on a helicopter. It's a long story, but it's right there.
Guys, we've got big dreams, and as long as you're here,
I want you to look here. Dream we flew a helicopter. Yes. It was on the list of topics.
This is so good. We've got so much to get to. We'll have Matt Pitta back again in not too short of an order because we've got the Seaside Lemans coming back up. So we'll talk about it before that, I promise. Events on Cape, if you're looking for something to do, eventsoncape.com is where you can find our full listing, whether we've got a sidewalk sale in the Mashpee Commons to the Mashpee Farmers Market. There's always something for everybody with us here at Lemonadio. Thank you for your support and listening today. If you're listening on the live stream, lemonadio.com, download the app in the App Store. Alexa, play Lemonadio Radio. You can find us on Roku TV and possibly coming soon on the dial. That's all I'm going to say about that. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on Mashpee TV tomorrow.
That's exciting, right?
No, because that angle is very unattractive. It just gave me an immediate eating disorder. I'm like, can we wider, farther?
Where can I find a stuffy this morning?
I'm like, oh, well, I think I might have something for you. Hang out, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Hank is up next. He's got lunch break. Bye. Son of a, you left me out again.